Hello everyone, welcome to the Scumdog's Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and in today's Cryptid Corner mini-episode, today I have a couple of bizarre accounts. One, an encounter with a bicycle ride with a demonic possible entity, and another account with a Mothman sighting in Chicago. Both accounts are truly outstanding, and we're going to get into the first one now. Creepy night ride in Argada, California turns into a car wash encounter with the unthinkable. Let's get into this story and read the full account now. It was a quiet late-night bicycle ride through fog-shrouded streets of Argada, Humboldt County, California. Roughly 9 years ago, what began as an ordinary pass by a car wash became an encounter that defies conventional explanation. The memory still haunts the witness, begging the question, what if the things people glimpse in the dark are far more real than we might want to admit? I currently live in Kingman, Arizona, but about 9 years ago, I had an extraordinary experience in Humboldt County, California. My boyfriend and I were riding our bikes late at night through Argada when we passed by a car wash. I can't remember which street. A car was parked where the vacuum machines were located. As we rode by, I glanced inside and saw a man sitting in the driver's seat reading a newspaper. In the passenger seat sat what appeared to be a demonic creature. It had horns, slimy skin with protruding veins, and its head and body were not human-shaped. It was beyond anything achievable with a costume or body modification. The man reading the newspaper seemed oblivious to it. So very interesting, isn't it, folks? Was this a real encounter that this woman had, folks? Or what is the truth? Was it perhaps maybe some guy in some extraordinarily good costume? I don't know. But let's read further. About a block later, I caught up with my boyfriend and asked if he had seen what I saw. He said he hadn't noticed the car. Skeptical, he rode back to check it out. When he returned, he was visibly shaken and wouldn't even talk about it afterwards. There's also some commentary, folks. Let's read that now, too. This report stands out for its intense detail and emotional weight. This kind of encounter departs markedly from standard cryptid reports in the region, which tend to describe large primate-like beings or shadowy figures. A grotesque, decidedly non-humanoid entity sounds, well, pretty much out of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, folks. That's what it sounds like to me. And considering this took place in California, it does sound like that, folks. So maybe it was a guy in a costume for a TV show, perhaps. But let's now continue with the rest of this article. Reports of overt demonic figures inside cars in urban or semi-urban settings are exceedingly rare, if not absent, in the publicly archived material. This anomaly may hint at an interdimensional or ultra-terrestrial origin rather than a conventional cryptid. The contrast between the mundane, a parked car and a man reading a newspaper, and the utterly monstrous passenger suggests not a hidden animal, but a breach between worlds. The fact that the companion witness was so shaken he refused to speak about it adds weight to the credibility of a shared but traumatic event rather than a hallucination. Given the lack of comparable cases in urban Arcata settings, this incident should be cataloged separately from classic Bigfoot-type sightings. It may belong to a class of rare phenomena where entities cross over from hidden dimensions into everyday environments. Very interesting, folks, if it's true. What was this entity? Was it really some sort of demonic being trying to influence this man sitting beside him? Or an alien encounter, folks? We don't know. Either way, let's move on to the next article. Large black bat-like entity seen over Winston Plaza in Melrose Park, Illinois. You hear about another Mothman-like entity seen in, well, the surrounding area, folks. Yeah, Mothman are being seen constantly there, folks. And this is yet another story. So let's continue. A Saturday afternoon shopping trip in Melrose Park turned into something far more unsettling when a witness captured a fast-moving black-winged entity over Winston Plaza. The sighting occurred during the height of the 2017 Chicagoland wave, raising questions about whether this was another appearance of the region's mysterious winged humanoid. What the witness photographed remains unexplained and may be connected to a cluster of similar reports from that same summer. I want to report a sighting I had today downtown Melrose Park, Illinois at Winston Plaza, 1254 Winston Plaza off Route 64 West North Avenue on Saturday, July 29th, 2017, just outside the Best Buy store. I was leaving the Best Buy with my husband when we saw what appeared to be a large black bat flying over the building. It must have been at least 20 feet in the air, solid black, and flying very fast. Sounds like a Mothman so far, folks. People have seen giant bats, also giant owls, and other such cryptids. And they all basically are under this Mothman phenomena, folks. So, it sounds like it's exactly what's been going on there for the past decade. But let's continue with the article. I reached for my phone to try to take a picture, but by the time I retrieved it from my purse, unlocked it, and opened the camera, the bat had flown quite a distance away. I managed to snap one good picture of the object before it moved too far from us. I'm not the best photographer, and my cell phone is a few years old, but you can see the object in the picture as it flies east toward the city. I couldn't see many details since it was high in the air and moving quickly, but I remember it was solid black, larger than any bird I've ever seen, and had a wingspan of about 7 feet. I hope this picture will help identify what it was. I hope it does, folks. I've seen the picture, and it does look like, well, if it isn't a bat, it looks like it's something, perhaps a drone, but I can't be for sure because it looked very large. And also didn't look like it had any, well, actual drone apparatus. It just looked like a big flappy thing in the sky, folks. But we'll get to that when we get to the photograph, folks. Either way, let's continue with the commentary. This sighting occurred during the active 2017 Chicagoland wave, a period marked by numerous reports of fast-moving, dark, bat-like entities with large wingspans. The witness's description of a solid black form, rapid flight, and an estimated 7-foot wingspan is consistent with several encounters in the O'Hare International Airport area logged between late 2016 and 2018. The photographic evidence, though distant, shows an object with a definite shape that does not match local bird species. Either way, the patterns worth noting include rapid movement and directional travel toward Chicago, a large bat-like silhouette with no visible flapping motion in the still image, a consistency with previous reports involving a dark-winged humanoids over shopping centers, suburbs, and industrial zones. Emotional tone indicating surprise but not panic, familiar in daylight sightings. Theories remain open. This case aligns most closely with the cryptid winged humanoid model, although interdimensional or ultra-terrestrial origin remains a valid possibility, given the sudden appearance, speed, and the 2017 cluster behavior. Indeed, folks, with what we know about what happened back in 2017, with all the signs that have been noted back then, folks, indeed, what was seen aligns very closely with other signs during that period, and what was seen is still going on to this very day. As you can see in this photo, folks, what is seen is this large, flappy thing in the sky that, while it isn't flapping like a bird, it's clearly flying. Here's a close-up of it, folks. It looks like almost a tarp. So is it possible that this is a drone or something, folks? It doesn't look like it to me, because as I said, it didn't have basically a big drone-like part, folks. Like, basically, it's a drone with basically carrying some sort of winged apparatus. Here's a map of the area as well, folks, where the sighting took place. Either way, what this entity is and why it was there, no one knows for sure. For all we know, folks, it could have actually been a giant bat, maybe an unknown species in the area, which has been, well, at least I'm suggesting it, folks, but I kind of doubt it, because people have also seen giant owls and other weird flying cryptids like winged humanoids that have basically moth-like or bat-like qualities to them, with glowing eyes and decidedly intelligent behavior. So, if anything, folks, maybe these are some sort of extraterrestrial or interdimensional beings. As I said, the ultra-terrestrial hypothesis is still on the table here, folks, that these beings have always been here, folks, but for whatever reason, mankind, well, did not notice them until now. Maybe because they didn't basically make contact or basically tried to basically be seen until now, folks. Is it possible that these entities have always been here and mankind was invisible to them until they decided to basically step forward and, while not basically directly contacting us, they're making their presence known? Perhaps. Or do you think that there's some sort of animals, maybe some sort of giant bats or owls that have remained elusive and unknown to mankind and modern science until now? It's a possibility. Either way, folks, certainly more information in the future will come out, and when it does, we will learn even more about these entities. But folks, we're now at the end, so please go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics They're Bad For You. You can use the YouTube link down below in descriptions or the chat to go subscribe to me. Hit that like button for me. Make sure you're still subscribed. Leave some comments down below. Hit that bell for notifications. Make sure at the part of the bell that give you all future notifications, and please share this video out. I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdogs Kennel. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be back again tomorrow with another great video, so be sure to come back again then. Till next time, folks, I'll see you all again soon.